Right, so we're now arriving to the next panel discussion. Our next session is going to explore the future of artificial intelligence, AGI and ASI, preparing for the leap.
And this panel will be moderated by David Prifer. David Prifer is an entrepreneur who has been building businesses in Indonesia for the past 20 years across various industries. He currently leads Gamotion, a gaming startup leveraging AI technology. David has also served as an active board member of La French Tech Indonesia for over 2 years, supporting the growth of the French tech ecosystem in the region. After moderating a discussion on AI's impact on daily lives at the last summit in Jakarta, David will continue to explore AI's rapid growth and its consequences as he moderates today's panel on AGI and ASI preparing for the leap.
The floor is yours.
Okay. So, Vanya, Alpha, and Pare, if you could please come up. You're in the middle? It's all right. Curse of the middle. It's a curse? Really? Sorry if I curse you. That was not my intention. Is everyone digesting properly? Yeah? All good? So it's always a difficult moment. So bear with us, a lot of important, interesting information. We'll try not to make you sleep, hopefully. Yeah? We'll work on that. So we heard this morning that AI was both exciting and scary. We heard that, and I think what we are going to talk about together is related to that. It's obviously more than a buzzword, right? AI. It's gone from science fiction to everyday's reality in the blink of an eye, changing most of how technologies are reshaping our societies. Moving so fast that it's raising many questions regarding both the transformative potential and its human impact. So what happens when AI can truly think or decide like a human or better than a human? Today we will be discussing those main opportunities and risks brought by AI, as well as how to anticipate and handle the massive impacts together with three amazing panelists. So, gentlemen, if you don't mind, ladies first. So we first have Vanya Valindria, assistant professor of data science at Monash University, Indonesia. She holds a PhD from Imperial College London, one of the world's leading university in science and engineering, and also a master in computer vision and robotics from the Erasmus Mundus program, where she spent a year in a beautiful country called France, right? Yeah. Her research focuses on AI for healthcare, for diverse populations, and generative AI media. She previously worked as a senior AI research engineer at Indonesia's top digital platforms and has contributed to projects across academia, startups, industry, integrating data science and AI with digital innovation. A warm welcome, Vanya. The closest I will move, and the curse of the center will be confirmed. We have Dr. Alva Erwin. Alva has been a driving force in Indonesia's AI ecosystem for more than 2 decades. He currently serves as a general manager at Nashta Group. In academia, he lectures on AI at both Swiss German University and Vilnius University, and until recently sat on the board of experts for the Central for AI and Advanced Technology at Trisakti University. Alva also contributed to Indonesia's national AI roadmap team. I think you're the second person today being part of that team. This morning you crossed someone. So helping shape the country's long-term vision for responsible and inclusive AI development. So it's a quite rare mix of technical depth, policy insight, and real-world implementation. So it will bring us a grounded view of how fast advancing AI is reshaping industry and society. A very warm welcome to you. And yeah, welcome. And last but absolutely not least, Frederick Jajadinata. Pare is a technology and finance leader with a remarkable mix of global and local experience. He is currently partner for technology at Alpha JWC Ventures, helping build and invest in the next generation of tech innovators. He also program director at the AI Institute for Progress, right? Supporting Indonesia's AI ecosystem. And Pare previously served as a CTO of Traveloka. Maybe some of them heard about that small company, driving company-wide tech initiatives that helped Traveloka push through the pandemic and come out stronger. And before that was executive director at another small company, Goldman Sachs in Hong Kong, heading Asia derivative technology. So with this cross-disciplinary background, Pare offers a sharp view on how accelerating AI capabilities are reshaping industries and economies, and a warm welcome to you too. The title of our topic was mentioning AGI and ASI. So let's briefly try to define the term. So AGI stands for Artificial General Intelligence, so a system that can reason and learn across multiple domains like human would. ASI stands for Artificial Superintelligence. That would be the following step, where the AI intelligence surpasses human intelligence in most domains. So let's start with you, Pare, and let's make sure that it's not finally in the middle. A lot of positive things can happen. So in your own words, how would you define AGI? And maybe you can share with us where you would think that would happen. Is it later this decade, in a few decades, or do you believe it will never truly happen? Are the mics on? No, they're not anymore. Yeah, please take that one.
Right, so the question is AGI, the definition and when it's going to be achieved, right? I mean, I think the standard definition is AGI is an AI that is at the level that it can think like humans. But when I connect it to ASI, I tend to connect them in a progression kind of way, meaning that I'll define AGI as the level of thinking that would allow it to continue improving itself to become ASI. So I don't think there's like a sharp delineation between AGI and ASI.
Right.
It's just that, yeah, it's a progression, right? Now, to your question of when it will be achieved, I think as early as 2024, people were thinking that it would be achieved in 2025. I think it's pretty safe to say, even with Gemini 3, which was released yesterday, it's not achieved yet, it's still pretty far. If you ask me, and then if you also get the consensus from the scientific community, right? It's kind of fluctuating as well. And now you see that it's becoming longer. I think part of this is what you see from what Jan Kun was saying, right? From Meta.
Mm-hmm.
He's of this very strong opinion, and this is partly why he was being asked to report to some 28-year-old in Meta, right? Until he quit, rage quit. Basically, yeah, he's thinking that with the current architecture, it's not going to be achieved. And I tend to agree with him.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there needs to be a different architecture. And by the way, tying this to our investment thesis, that's what we're trying to look for as well. Because we think that transformer is kind of there.
So looking for the people bringing that new
the
sort
new
of
architecture,
okay.
yeah, that can break through that ceiling. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Vanya?
Okay, so in my opinion, AGI means like artificial general intelligence. So it means that the AI can learn and perform in the level that human can do in expert level in many tasks. So I also want to continue for the Jan Lekan assumption, because he mentioned that we will not achieve AGI by using the scaled LLM, but perhaps it will be achieved using the word model, because as if you try to learn, if the baby try to learn by perceiving the word around, and then they learn the language itself. So by looking at the multimodal model around nowadays, like Gemini 3 is already in word model, so they understand the simulations, and several benchmark already say that the AGI perhaps around 30%, right, Gemini 3. So in my opinion, perhaps in the next decade, so around 10 years, so
Okay,
it will be potentially, because like less than 10 years ago when I studied computer visions, they tried to generate a cat, and it was abstract, and I saw like, what did they do? I mean, why they did that? And then nowadays we can see like the photorealistic image, and of course the almost real-time video generation. So it's possible, I think. Yeah.
So right now, you mentioned 20%. That's a benchmark trying to estimate how far we are.
Actually, there are several benchmark of AGI, and one of the benchmark already say like ARC AGI is already 30% for the Gemini 3.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the boundary is already unclear, but I believe that the progress that we've seen is amazing. Yeah, thank you.
The mic is on, so you will all have yours. Okay, so thank you, Vanya. Alva.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, David. Well, actually, this is pretty much an abstract concept, yeah. But I will try to see the AGI and SCI from three different dimensions that I found from my research. The first one is what Vanya and Ray mentioned about the making the artificial intelligence as intelligent or surpassing the human intelligence. That's one dimension. The second dimension that comes is that those AI who can bring the economic value. So we remember that the first attempt to test, quote unquote, the AI was the Turing test, where they are trying to see whether the AI could mimic the dialogue of a human, right? And then after that, there's another test that is proposed to see whether AI could achieve the intelligence of ordinary human, like passing the examination of bachelor degrees, or passing the law bar, or something like that. So that's the called employment test by Nielsen, if I'm not mistaken. So that's another test. Then the third test has come from Steve Wozniak, the co-founders of Apple, and it's called a barista test. So an AI, but this actually tied to the physical capabilities of the AI, so the robotics. So robots may enter a strange room, and they could found a device to make a nice cappuccino. Without knowing anything, he could do reasoning, plannings, and so on, and can make us a nice hot cappuccino without spilling any drops of coffee. So that will be the third test of the so-called intelligence AI.
Learning without having any input whatsoever.
Learning, planning, making spatial intelligence, and so on and so forth. But then there's another scenario for testing, but this I will wait for your next question. This is because this will brings the as you say, the some sort of like fear, where we are in the hope and fear dimension of this AGI and SI.
So you keep that for the scary part.
Yeah, keep that for the scary part. But then, there are two. The first, same as the human intelligence or surpassing it, okay? And then economic valuation of that. And then the third dimension of the AGI and SI is the so-called transformative AI. The AI that is so powerful that could bring the entire human civilization into the utopia, or maybe dystopia.
One or the other.
One way or the other. So we have no longer of fear, scarcity of something, the cancer cured, the pollution gone, war stopped, and everything. So that is so powerful that can create this kind of transformation. That is what we expect.
Okay, okay, thank you very
And
much.
when it will happen, I don't know. Maybe 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, maybe next month. I don't know.
Next month is very optimistic. All right. Thank you very much. So beyond that question of AGI or ASI, what we are really talking about is the accelerating power of AI. It's moving so fast, it's impacting everything in our lives at the moment. So we are going to start with the exciting part, not the scary part. So let's look at the opportunities, because it's already driving breakthroughs in healthcare, energy, education, and productivity. So Vanya, first, simply put, how, on the positive side, could AGI make the world better?
All people to access the expert level. Imagine you're in the rural area and then you want to go to specialists, and then you can just access the AGI. So I think it will make the world better in healthcare.
All right, thank you. And for that one, Alva?
Will it being beneficial?
Yes.
Yeah.
So how could AGI help make the world better?
Who? Okay. How could the AGI and ASI make the world better? So we are in the steps of AI, starting from the very, very basic, help us to find the information with Google, well, actually the machine learning algorithm, with the PageRank and so on. And then now we move to making AI and invoke AI where we want to invoke it. Now we are one step further to make AI as a mentor or even collaborators, where we are making AI as our partners. And now it's agentic AI, the era of agentic AI. Now, if we stretch even further, this brings us to the transformative AI and the economic AI. There's some questions like this. Is it possible to create AI that we give him 100,000 US dollars or 1,000 US dollars, and then give the AI the all digital tools that it needs, he needs or she needs, and then within 6 months, make it 1 million US dollar. So it is the question of autonomy. It is the question of agentic. It is the question of strategic plannings and so on. This AI could do so many things, making websites, making contracts, recruit people, and so on and so forth. At the end of the day, he comes up with this goal of producing 1 million US dollars from the 1,000 or 100,000 US dollars that he get as the initial capital. This opportunity exists. This opportunity exists, but it raises some concerns from the ethical point of view. Yeah, so many concerns that we maybe after another question we'll come to that. Yeah, but seeing this potential, of course, AI in so many area will be able to contribute very, very real. Yeah, healthcare, finance, banking, infrastructures, you name it. Yeah, you name it. Even the collaborator sites like AlphaFold or the AI that could, read hundreds of thousands pages of knowledge, new knowledge per second.
So across domains, not really
across domains,
one
not only
okay.
healthcare.
Okay, thank you very much. Pare?
Yeah, so look, I think AI can be very beneficial in health, right? And the reason for that is we've been too focused on how smart AI can be. What we often forget is, do we forget how bad humans are, right? I mean, look, the thing is that if you're sick, you'd want somebody like Dr. House to treat you because he's so great. There are a lot of bad doctors out there. I mean, I'm talking about this in general terms, right? If you're watching this, I'm sure you're amazing. But what I'm saying is that even that, even just by increasing the baseline level, that's already beneficial, and you don't even need AGI for that. I was looking into, we invested in a robotic surgery company, right? And part of that is there was a case of the surgery for breast cancer. And the thing is that if you excise that cancerous tissue, the rate at which the excision was not precise, and therefore the cancer could come back, could get as high as close to 20%.
This risk if performed by a human.
Performed by human, yeah. Now, look, I don't want to underestimate the complexity of this thing, because it's not just a computer vision. As you cauterize the tissue, there's a complexity around it as well. But all I'm saying is that we're also focused on how great AI is. This is 20%, right? I mean, imagine, I pray that none of you will ever get into the situation, but if you're one of the 5 who will be caught and say, sorry, you have to come back because we didn't excise all the tissue. Imagine that. So my point is that AGI or no AGI, I think it can make an impact, beneficial impact for us today. I mean, the other one, so very quickly as well, is that full self-driving apparently is already 5 times more safer than humans, right? Again, do you know how many bad human drivers are out there? So literally,
we live in Jakarta.
Right, yeah. So literally, by keeping AIs out of self-driving, we are killing humans. So yeah. Yeah.
Thank you very much. To continue on that one, maybe more locally, so Alva, what would be the more specific benefits that we could find for Indonesia? We are still outside the scary part. We are still in the exciting part.
Right.
But more local.
I think Pa Edi already mentions it clearly. About we have so many problems still not yet solved in Indonesia, and again, even though without AGI and ASI, the artificial intelligence itself that we have at the moment is having so many benefits. But I think the problem is not only about the AI itself, but also how we could, equalize the opportunity for the people to get access to the AI, because one of the most dangerous thing about AI is actually the gap between those who use AI and the gap of those who are not exposed to the AI. That's one thing. So
trying to close the gap, one of the local
one
benefits.
of the that's one of the pillars that the AI national strategy want to achieve.
Right. Okay. Pare, about this more local benefit.
Pare or Vanya?
Pare. I was asking for Pare. I was moving.
Oh, sorry.
Vanya.
It was for you?
Oh, okay. I thought it's Vanya. Sorry. I missed her.
You were expecting the Vanya.
Yeah, that's why she was looking at you. I was like, why? Sorry. Sorry, the question was...
so the more local benefits, where would you see, which sector you would see as receiving more benefits locally?
Okay. I think in Indonesia, this is another over-focus of AI, right? We are focusing a lot on how AI is going to destroy the white-collar jobs. But actually, there are a lot of opportunities in the blue-collar jobs as well. Very simple. Don't even need to talk about AGI. There's this one use case where a lot of machineries, from the way it vibrates or from the way it's making noises, you know that you need to do predictive maintenance of it, right? If you talk about the large population of experts in the field, there'll be people who will be able to just put their palm on it and say, okay, this needs predictive maintenance. But
with experience.
But obviously it's really hard to crystallize their thought and transfer it to an apprentice.
Right.
So again, machine learning comes to the rescue. There are a lot of other things as well. So not full self-driving, but like driving that's relatively simple, just to make sure that you water the plantation properly, right? When you use human, the one nearest to the depot tends to be the best watered, and then the one far is right. So yeah, there are many solutions that doesn't even need to wait for AGI. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. And Vanya, more local.
Yeah, perhaps for Indonesia, there are two things, like two domains. The first one is, I think Indonesia is boosted by UMKM, like small, medium enterprise. So in this pre-AGI era, I think it's helpful for them to have like content creation tools, like AI-generated tools. But with AGI, I think they will be empowered by AGI, like one AGI tools for content creation and business analytic and CS like in one AGI superpower. And the second one, of course, healthcare, because as we know that the radiologists, the prevalence of radiologists is only 1.2 in 100,000 Indonesians. So I think if we can use the AGI to kind of know which scans it belongs to which disease, I think it will be very helpful to do the screening, such as tuberculosis screening and etc. Because right nowadays, I would say AGI is still far because like the pre-trained models, like the Google Foundation model or other models is trained on Western data. That's why when we infer, when we test, predict on our local data, let's say the lung of the X-ray Indonesian data, it will not perform very well. So there is like some gap. So I think it will be best if AGI could solve that problem.
Okay. Thank you very much. So of course, with this level of opportunities come similarly high level of risks. Experts are already warning us from anything from job displacement to AI bias, from security threat to even losing control over ASI or advanced AI in general. So let's focus now on what you consider to be the most serious risks, and then which one poses the greatest threats to Indonesia. So, Pare, could you please tell us which is the risk you see as the most serious we're going to be facing, if not already?
Maybe I'll answer it in two ways, right? The first one, which is already here, is simply the deep fake. So as Pak Edi mentioned, right, in pay later, in this trying to detect liveness, etc., it's like a never-ending race.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a point that it's pretty easy for you to detect if it's somebody is faking it. Somebody would just put the the photo in front. It used to be like that, right? And it became more and more advanced to the point that you're trying to detect the micro expression in your face, something that the human will never catch up. But yeah, and then the adversarial AI became better as well. And now apparently the most advanced technique is you try to detect how the blood in your face moves in patterns that no humans can even discern. When the adversarial AI got to that, I don't know what else can the good AI do, right, in there. So that is one. I mean, that is one that is near. It is today. The other one, I think, is the displacement. Like, to be clear, I think some AI leaders like Elon, he's saying that AI will be good for humanity, right? And I think what will happen is that even if that is true, we as humanity will be okay. But along the way, there'll be a lot of humans that will be victims of that. Yeah, so there's a difference between the well-being of humanity as a race versus individuals that are affected.
And groups of people.
Yeah. And this goes back to my earlier point about AI and jobs. I mean, the typical discourse about AI is that, don't worry about AI because AI will allow you to focus on high-level jobs. Now, again, do we think it's that easy to do high-level jobs, right? I got somewhat of a personal experience on this. So I have a team of experts that is doing a certain thing. And then they were telling me that, we couldn't do these higher level activities because we are too busy doing these menial jobs. Now, what happened was that when we automated those menial jobs, it turned out that not many of them could actually do the higher level activities. Now, when you have AGI, and this is multiplied by 1 million across all jobs, I'm sure there'll be an impact. I'm sure there'll be a lot of impact, even if we as humanity race will survive and maybe flourish.
Okay, thank you. Vanya, regarding the risks?
Okay, so regarding the risks, perhaps there are three. The first is the risk of whether the AGI will harm human, because sometimes we know that you talk about self-driving car. Perhaps the self-driving car didn't intend to harm human, but sometimes the system failed, and that's one of the use case of the risk. And the second one, perhaps the emotional attachment and dependency of AGI, because as we have seen that many young people and teenagers, and they become to attached to chatbot, and some cases they took their life because of the chatbot. So that's the humanity risk, and that's why we need like AI safety to kind of regulate that. And the third one is the existential, because if you have heard, do you hear about Tong Tong? Like, I think it's a prototype of AGI. It's developed by Beijing, so it's by research lab in Beijing. So they try to develop a child AGI, like age 2 to 6 years old, and they try to kind of learn from the environment. So the child AGI try to self-learning and build its own value. So the problem is, what if the value that it's built, it's different from our humanity value? So will she or he destroy us? So yeah, that's one of the risks. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's happening now. I mean, it's real. The Tong Tong one is real. And what's the second one? The risk in Indonesia, for Indonesia.
Yes,
Yeah.
if you see
Yeah.
one more specifically for
Okay, I
Indonesia.
think the one specific risk of AGI in Indonesia is trust issue, because like a lot of scam, and it's very easy to impersonate someone. And of course, if we receive the AGI or AI advice on medical recommendation, I mean, do we trust just follow? I think it's based on your based on your
All right.
trust.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
And
thanks.
Alva?
Okay, thank you. So I will state three clusters of the risk. The risk number one, the cluster number one is about the AI itself. So here lies the risk of hallucination, bias, and so on and so forth. The second cluster is the misuse of AI. Here are the risk of people are using AI as a deep fake, and people are using AI for creating a AI-based cyber attacks,
Right.
and so on. That will be the second clusters. The third clusters of the risk is actually the impact of the AI. The impact of the AI will fall into this category is like job losing, the widening of the gaps for those who are have and do not have. The rich become richer, the poor become poorer, this kind of that, of losing jobs and so on. So the impact, including the existential risk of AI, AGI and ASI become uncontrollable.
Right.
So that the three clusters that actually I see.
Okay, thank you very much. So after seeing both opportunities and risks, so let's talk about governance. Which guiding principles we believe should be helping us go through this wave. In fact, Indonesia is already taking steps to prepare this AI-driven future. Work is underway as the national AI strategy will set a new vision, and a new AI regulation is expected shortly. So let's discuss about the right framework. Vanya, in your opinion, what would be the guiding principles that should define AGI governance, and who should lead this governance? Is it government? Is it international bodies, private sector, a mix of everything? So what should be the guiding principles, and by who?
Okay, yeah. I think I remember when I first studied robotics, there are like 3 laws of robotics, and I think we can use that for this AGI as well. The first law is a robot must not harm or injure human, and then the second one, a robot must obey the instruction from the human, and the third one is the robot must protect its own existence unless it's conflict with the first or the second law.
Yeah.
Yes, Asimov. So I think we can work around that for the spirit of AGI itself. So first, it must not harm human means a safety one, and the second one, it must respect us as a human. So, and the third one, of course, regarding the accountability and the transparency and the ethical way and AI and AGI. And who should govern? I think all of them, like probably government, they set the rules, and it always kind of lagging like behind the AI advancement, of course, but we are catching up. And the international body, I think they can also set the standard on how the global standard should deploy the AGI. And the third one, because the startup, I think the local startup can innovate with local data or local needs.
Okay, Pak Alva?
Yeah, thank you, Pak. So may I come a little bit for the last example, yeah, Pak? And because it's bring you the values and then who will govern. So basically, this example of AI given 100,000 US dollars or 1,000 US dollars and then come with the goals of 1 million could be extended into so many things. Could be extended to the given to a president of a country and then make the GDPs up and given to a corporate making the revenues and so on and so forth. So it's kind of a goal-based AI. So come back to the example, then it comes to the ethical values, of accountability, of responsibility, of transparency, then the way of AI could explainability, of the human in the loop, and so on and so forth. So most of these values, of course, is kind of extended from the Isaac Asimov 3 Laws of Robotics, is actually something that we would like to govern. And those values actually been written in so many guidance, in Indonesia and in overseas, in Europe, in the United States. Europe got this AI Act, United States also got some kind of a regulation. And who will responsible for that? I think the ecosystems, not only government, not only startup, the venture capitals, the players itself, the users and everything. They have to have these ethical values governs this. So not letting the Terminators or the Matrix happen. At least not in our.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I think one of the quote that comes from the one of the godfathers of the AI, the Geoffrey Hinton, the emeritus professor of University of Toronto, he said that he afraid that we are in the race to the destruction, because in order to get the more profit, we create a better AI, better AGI, better ASI. Then suddenly we create something that is more intelligent than us.
Right.
And the rest will be, as Vanya said, the extinction of human civilization as we know it.
All right.
Hope it won't happen.
Pare?
Yeah, so the question is about the guardrails, right, for the policies. I think this depends on which country you're in as well. So if you're in a country which you think that you're facing an existential risk, if your closest competitor develops AI more advanced than you, then your policy will be different from if you're the sideline players, right?
So are you American, Chinese, Russian, or someone else?
American, Chinese, So, and now, if you're a sideline player, then I think there are two sides of policy. One is the public-facing policy, which means that they have to sound good, right? You need to prioritize humans. There cannot be casualties, etc. But I think there needs to be an internal side as well, which is that when we discuss any AI that is advanced enough, at one point, inevitably, you'll be talking about the trade-off. Let me give you an example. Going back to the full self-driving, right? So let's say in Jakarta, without full self-driving, let's say on a day, there is 100 casualties, 100, for example. Let's say full self-driving have become so advanced that you can drive down that number 100 to 1. Meaning that if you don't deploy full self-driving, you're killing 99 Jakartans every day, right? Should you therefore deploy full self-driving? Now, if I'm the government, my question would be, what will happen to all the Bluebird drivers, the Grab drivers, the Gojek drivers, right? At that point, it'll become a trade-off. And I think, I mean, there needs to be a policy that considers this trade-off as well, but it's not something that you can discuss politically. Hence my point that you need to have like a double layer policy. You're making trade-offs all the time. It's just that sometimes it's
Correct.
it's unsaid, right? It's implicit. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. So we are reaching Q&A step, and after that we're going to let you have a final word for each of
But it doesn't become more intelligent. As long as this trade-off between trade between intelligence and compute exists, I think there's always a dichotomy. There's always this small model that is good enough for personal use cases, and there's always this gigantic model which is national security concern.
Thank you very much.
All right, next questions. Try to be concise. This one in the middle.
Just a quick one. Hi.
Hi.
So I just want to be a devil's advocate here. Do you believe that if you have completely unrestricted learning access to anything, even like potentially illegal or other type of material, could we achieve and bypass that ceiling that you guys mentioned before and actually make it higher? Because right now we are policing all the models to fit the ethical, but we actually removing a lot of available subset of data which is available, conversations that we are not tapping in.
Well, I think one thing that is useful to wonder about, right, is that are the no conversations intelligent conversations? Some of the thing that gets removed would be things like you cannot talk about the certain things that happen in our country. Well, okay, that's a factoid, right? But is that an intelligent thing? Not really. And the other thing is that where this is removed is actually not in the pre-training itself, right? In the pre-training, you slurp the whole internet, and we've run out of that data already. So yeah, my take on that is that I don't think allowing anything to get in there will allow us to break through that ceiling.
Do you have anything to add to that one? No? No? Alva?
Yeah, my personal belief here is that we are dealing with something that is so massive, quote unquote, yeah. And seeing from the risk clusters, what I can think is try to govern the impact by using these ethical values and so on and so forth. Because sometimes it's unstoppable. See that the large world model, for example, yeah, that we think that where is the data came from? The NVIDIA now create a physical simulation where they recreate this particle collision, gravities, densities, and so on and so forth. And then they create the data out of this simulated world model. I think that's what Professor Fei Li is now making the startup for that large world model. Yeah. So to be honest, this is very much beyond our comprehension. But so the impact is unknown, and I think we have to go back to the basic. The very basic is about having the ethical values, human in the loop, responsibility, explainability, and so on, to keep this AI, AGI, ASI out of control. That's my...
Right.
Sorry,
Artificial.
can I just
Yes,
say 10 seconds just to add to that point, right? We spoke to a startup whose whole premise to make model more intelligent is to make sure that the pre-training material is all good material. Yeah. So what they're saying is that some of the reason of why we're seeing this ceiling is actually because a lot of the materials are crappy in the pre-training. So they're making it smaller, actually. Just to add that point.
All right.
Okay, next questions,
No,
please.
In fact, so the last word is going to be for the panelists. So we have a coffee break after that. Hopefully you can stay around and answer, because I can see there are tons of questions, and I understand why. It's a super interesting topics, and all of you are very interesting to hear. So, but to close the discussion, I would like, please, each of you to send one short message to the general public about AGI, to help people understand, anticipate, get ready for what's coming. So what would be this short message? Vanya?
Okay. For me, I think, of course, first we have to collaborate with AI, because now we use it every day, and perhaps preparing for AGI means preparing ourselves, like our ethics, our value, our laws. Mm-hmm. And of course, AGI will kind of reflect or mirror our value. So you say, perhaps we must use the good value in our pre-trained data. So yeah, prepare ourselves and ethics and values for AGI.
Thank you very much. And Pare?
Yeah. I'm trying to make the message probably more hopeful, but I'll just say it as it is, right? I mean, look.
No movie.
Yeah, I look. I think it's really hard to project the future, right? And what I'll say, I mean, what I take comfort in is that what I said earlier, namely that humanity has been here. I think we are a very adaptive species. Maybe not all of us will make it. I'm sorry, but I think humanity will make it, right? And that's what make me sleep well at night.
Thank you very much. And Palva, the closing words.
Yeah, thank you very much. I probably grew up by looking Terminator and Matrix, Pak, so a little bit biased, Pak.
Okay.
So yeah, hope and fear. A lot of hope, but yet the fear is not neglectable, Pak. So I think this is again comes to humanity to keep the ethical values to make this not, as Jeffrey Hinton says, the race to the destruction, but something that is beneficial to all the humankind, and we create utopia instead of dystopia.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, David, and our panelists for
So
such
for the
a
next questions,
fascinating
will be around
discussion.
coffee, right?
Yeah. Maybe you can remain on stage for a short photo session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We need more time, I think, for this.
Oh, yes, obviously, when you see the number of hands going up.
So David is going to be handing out souvenirs.